Themes seem to have intensified this evening. Indeed, they're always worse in the evenings and the night time. And this is the terminal experiment. Certain people in the population are picked out if they meet certain criteria or have said something that the intelligence services do not want them to say. And in this case, I believe it was a video I made about the Dombe cult, but the beams themselves are probably being perpetrated by a British private security firm. And I'm not a scientist, so I can't tell you the exact mechanisms they use to perpetrate these attacks by beaming these directed energy and microwave weapons. But I believe it's something to do with satellites and potentially Wi-Fi. And they have plenty of means at their disposals to do these things. And they do them. Indeed, British intelligence are a very disgusting group of people. And they will do anything to destroy the sanity and the security of a test subject. Indeed, the idea is to be railroaded into an asylum, which I was for the past 5 years. In fact, I've only been out for 8 months in the past 6 years, and I'm not even fully out yet. I'm only out of the mental hospital for 5 nights a week. I'm still in the hospital for 2 nights a week for another 2.5 weeks, and then I will be fully discharged. But British intelligence will make it their mission to have me sectioned again because they do not want me on the streets and seem to have a grudge against me. Indeed, much of this has to do with my previous exposures of the Wiltshire police activities, including the fact that Wiltshire police are one of the biggest cartels in the region, what with traditional organised crime groups having a lesser presence in Wiltshire than other counties. Local law enforcement have filled the void, so to speak, and Wiltshire police are engaged in drug trafficking, child trafficking, the um, the rape gangs that go on are overseen by Wiltshire police and indeed contain many Wiltshire police in their number. And Wiltshire police are also involved in the harvesting and trafficking of organs discreetly and surveillance of targets chosen by the security services. MI5 are also surveilled by Wiltshire police networks. Indeed, Wiltshire police have an arrangement with Palantir, and they are up to their eyeballs in nefarious dealings. But the very dumb people, the very dumb British people of Wiltshire, seem to believe that the Wiltshire police are a benevolent group of people, and they are most certainly not that. They are a branch of the British establishment, and the British establishment is thoroughly revolting, especially Wiltshire police. Indeed, Wiltshire police scapegoated me after I had exposed one of their rings and attempted to cast me off as the villain in the matter when they couldn't deal with the exposures. Indeed, the Wiltshire police are run by several Masonic networks who are themselves intelligence operations of the wider British intelligence security structure. And Wiltshire police operate under the auspices of the intelligence agencies and are given license to do as they please by the intelligence agencies. Indeed, the Novichok incidents were carried out by the security services and the wider intelligence networks of the United Kingdom with the full knowledge of the Wiltshire police cadres and probably a lot of involvement of Wiltshire police. Indeed, this was the targeting of a Russian agent by Wiltshire police on the orders of the British security and intelligence structure. And the death of Dawn Sturgis was the responsibility of Wiltshire police, not of the Russian intelligence agencies. Indeed, the Russian intelligence agencies are interesting networks, and they are run at the top by Frankists, but the ethnic Russians in the networks, whenever they begin to find out too much about the Frankist networks at the top of the intelligence chain, they are purged in mass exterminations to stop them from revealing the truth about the Frankist networks, which are beholden to the Frankist networks in the Western countries. And indeed, this Novichok incident in Salisbury and the later death of Dawn Sturgis were not the responsibility of the Russians. Indeed, the British intelligence services, the British public, the British media, and the British government are lying about basically everything to do with those events. And this is the nature of the British mind, due to a belief in Anglo-Israelism, that the Anglo peoples are Hebrews, which is believed by the Anglo-American gentry, aristocracy, ruling classes, political classes, business classes. They have developed a certain mindset, which is very similar to that of the Frankists, a belief in their own superiority, and with it comes an absolute Russophobia, and they are attempting to drag the British population into a war with the Russian Federation. Indeed, much of the events in the Middle East are part of this general framework. The thing is, the Russian oligarchy is itself majority Frankist, and the people are suffering under the Frankist networks, but these Frankist networks are completely intertwined with the Frankist networks in the NATO countries and their Anglo-American corporatocracy, oligarchic brotherhood, and basically the entire intelligence structure, also linking to the Vatican, which is now under Frankist dominion. The Frankist networks, before they were known as Frankists in their forms as the Alumbrados, the Illuminated groups, originally began their takeover of the Vatican in the 1400s. Indeed, the Zohar and the Corpus Hermeticum were Alumbrados intelligence code, and these networks created the Jesuit order and also installed several popes, indeed the Borgia popes, the Medici popes, and potentially the Farnese Pope, were all of that heritage. And this network is like a global octopus, and its tentacles seem to reach everywhere, even into the local law enforcement of Wiltshire, which is an absolutely disgusting force with absolutely no moral integrity, and they most certainly do not have the moral high ground. And they will most probably attempt to either scapegoat me or in some way, or scapegoat me and railroad me back into the psychiatric hospitals. And indeed, it wouldn't surprise me if Wiltshire police were themselves heavily involved with my targeting with the microwave weapons, because they would have connections to be able to get some sort of private security corporation, or maybe even doing it themselves, to target me in any way they possibly can after the things that I revealed about them in the past. Indeed, Wiltshire police are heavily involved in the rape, torture, and trafficking of people of various ages, including minors, and are involved in narcotics trafficking and oversee many of the narcotics dealing networks in Wiltshire. They're also involved in organ harvesting and mind control experimentation and the targeting of people decreed as enemies of the state by the MI5 British Security Services. Wiltshire Police oversees their targeting through various means, including directed energy weapons and microwave weaponry and auditory harassment. Indeed, this is the sad state of affairs, and I'm worried that my rage will blow up too much that they'll be able to put me back in the psychiatric hospital very quickly. However, I'm going to try and stay calm and avoid a diet of 6 grams of amphetamines a day and cathinones on top of that, which caused much of the situation whereby the police were able to take me away and put me in the mental hospital. Indeed, I managed to bite one of the policemen during my last arrest, so to speak, and I'm very glad I did, because the Wiltshire police are absolutely foul, disgusting, terrible, revolting human beings. And the reason I've moved back to Wiltshire is because I have unfinished business with Wiltshire police, and may this conflict begin